Hi. Hi, welcome to a brand new video of the Target Individual Program, Targeted Individual Experience. Here we are again, or here I am again, and exposing what the New York Predator Department and its predator officers have been engaging in, particularly when it comes to targeting me as a TI for over 2 decades now, right? And, you know, I talk about how they like to project who they are onto me as a TI and also onto TIs in general by spreading negative propaganda, villainizing us, what is called dark psychological projection, either through brainwashing or the use of technology to manipulate our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, while we are sleeping, subconscious, when we are awake, both our subconscious and conscious mind using radio wave and microwave frequencies, right? And particularly if you are a TI who has been illegally implanted with a microchip for BCI, right? So I did a previous video earlier. I was about to do this video, the New York Predator Department and the officers sitting outside in their vehicle using their sirens to try to intimidate me. But I always say, I thank the ancestors because they keep revealing to me a lot of things, right? And today I was watching a video where you had some religious person talking about, well, you speak to the ancestors. Yeah, because the ancestors, yeah, your ancestors live within you. Okay, you are alive today, and you are who you are today for the most part in terms of biology, in terms of personality, right? For the most part, due to your ancestors, they reside within you. That's why they can take your DNA and they can trace your lineage, right? Based on the fact that that DNA that is within you is also that of your ancestors that was passed down, okay, through the father and the mother. Understand? Right? So this is sometimes when we may look a certain way and somebody will stop us and say, oh, you look like your great great grandfather, or, or you know what I'm saying? You look at a female and wow, you look just like your father. A son, you look just like your father, your mother. You know, because again, they are within us. Even though if your parents is alive today, they are within you. You are them. They are not you, but you are them. And when you have kids, your kids will be you. You will be your kids, right? I'm sorry, but your kids will be you, right? Not you will be your kids, but your kids will be you because you're passing on your lineage, your DNA lineage, as well as a father to that child. Okay, so let's not get it twisted. We need to understand that when, particularly us who believe in the Kemetic spiritual system, right, we know that we cannot separate nature from us. We are part of nature. Okay, we don't look to a supreme being in the sky for guidance because we know that God and goddesses are with God and goddess is within us, right? We create life, right? And any person is a human being created human life. That's who we are, right? God is the so-called deity that can create life. We as human beings, we can create life also. So understanding that, right? But nature in its early inception was the one responsible for creating life. So whether we attribute it by giving it nature a different name, but the Europeans literally took what we and other cultures have created. We created, Kemetic spiritual system, and then as we migrate, we brought those systems along with us, and it changed over time to each uh, region and their belief system, right? But it has a foundation, and it starts in the Kemetic spiritual system. Okay. Anyhow, so exposing the New York Predator Department again as I was walking back with my daughter, I didn't record it, but they had an NYPD vehicle again, and then having these people waiting around, standing up. New York Predator Department. I need to make that uh, name and definition because that's what they do. They are predators. So remember, years ago, the whole quota scandal in which New York Predator Department got sued, okay, and they said that they've implemented change to get rid of the quota system. Well, the quota system still exists. So again, as T, as I keep telling you, when they want to insinuate that you're lying or you're a liar, what have you, don't worry about it. Okay? Because they're the ones that's lying. Okay? They're the deceivers. They have the power. They have the ability, the resources, the manpower, the financial resources, the technology to manipulate people around you, to manipulate you and I in any way they see fit. Okay? And what happened when brave people like this brother right here, brave, courageous, who has attained that level of Christ consciousness to where he's looking at this system and said, hey, why are we still doing quarters? Isn't it illegal? Right? So they continue to lie to us, to deceive us. But I want to play this clip because I've talked about how they use the retaliatory tactics. Because, when I expose them, they retaliate. They'll get their little minions out there on the street, the little religious phonetic bastards and bastesses for the females, to target me, to do staring at my daughter and engaging in these sort of negative subliminal threats, of course, of subliminal threats. And he's this former NYPD officer. I'm not sure if he's still a NYPD officer, but they're still doing quarters. And I just get a text. You just heard the car honking. I just got a text from my son teacher about regions. So they engage. Again, these sort of like, why are you texting me now? Because I'm doing this video. I'm exposing it. You had yesterday, what have you. But anyway, but when they know that what I'm saying resonates, they will do stuff like this. All of a sudden, I'll just get a text or I'll get a phone call from someone, right? Now, the week has started, right? For if you have regions, let us know. We had a meeting. Let us know. Regions is coming up. But anyhow, I'm not going to focus on that. I'm just trying to show you guys what it is that they do. How there's always like a phone call or a text at a particular moment, particular time, right? So anyhow, I want you guys to listen, okay? And this is for educational purpose. Again, this is claim the copyright, what's it called? Use Act, okay? So this is for commentary, educational purpose.
Okay, and then and so you're not getting you're performing well, but you're not getting any of the promotions that someone with your record would have gotten. And at that point, go ahead.
No, I'm saying, well, according to them, I'm not performing well because I'm not consistently meeting the quota.
Okay.
And in the NYPD, promotions come with civil service exams. So when the time came and I aced the exam, I was supposed to be promoted, but they actually stopped the promotion. They blocked it. But I'll wait for you to get there.
Well, is that the point where you decide?
Okay, so here you go. This guy, right, who aced all the exams to be promoted, and they didn't promote him. Why? Because he asked questions. He's saying, listen, I'm not going to go out there and be a predator cop and just start ticketing people for no reason. Okay? And particularly what he's going to say about how they're still telling police officers only to ticket black and brown people and to leave white people alone. Okay, let's continue.
I did I got to record some of this because it's not going to, nobody's going to believe me, or, and what was your thinking at that moment where you decided to start recording?
So I actually studied the stop, question, and frisk trial in 2013. Every day while that trial was going on, I read the notes, I read the judge's opinion, etc. And I saw the test of both depositions and testimony from the leadership, and I realized that they have absolutely no problem lying to the public under oath.
Thank you, my brother. Okay, thank you. Like I said, these people are liars. They are deceivers, and they have no issue destroying the lives of black men and black and brown men. Okay, no problem at all. Right, all the way to the leadership. So this is, like I said, when I talk about the dark triad personality types, these are the people I'm talking about, these leaders. And then what they do is that they create under them the same mindset that they have, that dark triad narcissistic, psychopathic, sociopathic mindset. And when they're preying on black people in particular, see, this is why I call them predators. Okay? This is why, because this is who they are. And in my targeting over the past 2 decades, they have been predatory in every single way and using women, using men, right? Using children to engage in psychological tactics, manipulative tactics to cause psychological harm as well as physical harm by poisoning, drugging, okay, false accusation, and using it as a threat, particularly with teenagers that they've been started doing that recently, teenage girls, as a threat, right? But again, I keep saying, all you have to do is look at their record. Which group of people in the United States have the most domestic abuse? Police and military. Which group of people in the United States have the most serial killing? Police. The most pedophiles? Police and the churches. Okay? And when you have these two institutions, police and the church, you're looking at a recipe for disaster. But because, again, particularly as a black person, they have us as believers, not people that know. Okay? See, I don't say I believe anymore. I say I know. If I don't know, I'll go research it and I'll find out the truth. Okay? I'll find out the truth until if that's the truth at that time, if it changes, then I'll look at, how it changes, because things evolve, right? Unlike people who believe in religion, they just believe in their religious system and that's it. Nothing else. Even when you bring them the truth, the evidence, they don't want to listen. They don't want to believe it. Anyhow, so again, they have no problem lying. And as a TI, in order for them to get away with what they're doing to us, they have to try to create within us who they are. And then when we come forward to speak about it, they use the psychiatric labeling. Let's go.
That's when I said, if I don't capture this, I won't. Not knowing exactly.
And this is why I do my videos, right? This is why I do my videos also.
What was going to happen, but I remember thinking I need to capture this, because if they come for me, if they come for my career, I need to be able to prove what's being said, what's happening, and that's where the decision to record is made. Also, another officer named Adrian Schoolcraft, he had recorded, and they threw him in a psych ward. If he didn't have those recordings, Sam and Emma, his entire story would have been interpreted differently, because.
Okay, there you go. All right, so he said another officer came forward, and what did they do? They threw him in the sidewalk. Right, sidewalk. Site ward. Can't even say the word. But again, right, when the NYP, excuse me, when the New York Predator Department want to retaliate against its officers for coming forward and telling the truth, they use the psychiatric labeling, they throw them in the psych ward, they launch an investigation, they lie about the officer being doing criminal acts, right? They will have them audited, all this other stuff, just like how the government would use the IRS. Okay? And as I said, the word audited, you guys hear the car honking sign. So these when they do stuff like that, again, and because I know their tactics, right? The dark personality traits within these people, particularly in law enforcement and within the government, I know their tactics because they've used them or threatened to use them against me over and over. Okay? I mean, I'm on disability. What you going to do? Audit to see what I use my disability money on? Food, clothing, what else? Taking care of my kids, buying them what they need, okay? And, my hobby, which is, again, building computers. If I can build a cheap PC at a cheap price, I'll do it. But again, anyway, but I want you to understand how they try to use those things as a weapon to try to put fear in me, right? To try to threaten me, right? And using the psychiatric labeling again. What I have I always say: whenever I can prove or I make a video that shows exactly what it is that they're doing, okay, and to where somebody can look at it and say, you know what, he may be right. They will always try to use the psychiatric targeted, meaning that, like if I'm at home with my sister, she'll keep staying on at my feet. And again, that's how do I know this? Because when early in my talk, I used to watch certain movies and certain movies that you may have patients in the psychiatric ward or have such, they'll always be barefooted, right? And again, they were directing me to these movies in order to so that I can have that association, right? So again, they understand what it is that they do, and I understand what it is that they're doing, right? I'm not falling for it. I'm not going to let them manipulate me anymore. You're not going to try to threaten to take my kids like you tried to do with my oldest son when he was younger. You know, you're not going to try to create this backwards mindset where, as if I behave negatively, I'll be rewarded. That's not going to work anymore, right? Because I understand your tactics and I know what it is that you've been doing. I'm talking about the dark triads in authoritative position, all right, within the government, within the security agencies, right? Anyhow,
They tried to paint him as someone that was crazy, but because he had the recordings, he was able to defend himself and show, no, this is retaliation because of what I'm exposing.
right.
So you're recording not because you're necessarily anticipating a broad.
All right, so I'm gonna just stop the video here because again, exactly what he said is exactly what I've been saying for decades. For at least from since I started recording this and trying to really expose what it is that's being done. Once I was able to get the information, and again, knowledge is power, right? Again, for those Bible thumpers, TIs, in your Bible, what does it say? My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You'll become too religious, too superstitious. It tells you, leave religion, leave superstition. Leave the superstition. Get the knowledge. Right? Understand that in order for any one of us can become a Christ. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, Chinese, what have you. What matters is that when you see things are being done within the society or within your company or within your agency, what have you, that goes against its core belief in terms of what it says it holds as the mantra of who they are, right? Like our Constitution here in the United States. And when you have agencies and government agencies, law enforcement agencies that goes against their oath of office, goes against the Constitution, goes against the Bill of Rights, right? For example, the conspiracy of rights against STIs for exposing what it is that they're doing to us, right? That itself is a crime. It's a conspiracy against our rights. Okay? Everything that they stand up for and put their hands to put their hand on the Bible and claim to uphold, they don't uphold. They do the opposite. All right? So, just want to thank this brother. Thank all the good officers out there who are upholding their oath, upholding the Constitution, who care about the people and not just criminalizing people, right? Particularly black people. I thank you. Brothers like this, doesn't matter if they're white, black, what have you, male or female. This is when they know that they are dealing with a new Christ. A person who have elevated his consciousness to the Christ level. Okay? So, talk to you guys in the next video.